is here for one main person, and that's she did it. Basically, this is crazy.
You guys are freaking amazing. This is so amazing. I had this big prepared speech, and I'm not even going to do it.
Do it.
No. This is just the most inspiring, amazing group of people. You've come from all over this country to be here right now. Because we care about what's happening, and we're here. How many of you guys are Russian bots? How many were paid by George Soros to be here today? Anyone? No? You guys all spent your own hard-earned money, right? And you took off from work?
I left right after work.
Yeah, you guys came down here because we're really...
We love America.
When I started planning this, I didn't know what to expect, but I am proud to call you all my family. And I love you guys. Let's keep going. We'll move forward with integrity, always caring about the truth. Even if 100 of us here, we have so many people that are at home watching. We're doing this. It's happening. It is happening. I love you guys.
Love you. I was on the Reddit board. I was one of the mods. My name is Red Pill the World. Oh, thank you. It was awful. I loved having all the 20,000 of us. It was amazing, right? It was so wonderful. It was such a great way that we were just all together, like Q says, stay together, right? And so, I don't know, most of y'all don't know the backstory, but I mean, like, I tried so hard to keep it hack-free. I tried so hard. Y'all don't even know. I mean, it was like ridiculous. I couldn't even sleep. I was trying to keep all the hackers off of there, the bad guys who were putting all these horrible things on there. It was just, the stream was horrible. Anyway, to keep it a place where we can share truth. And so then I watched one day, and like my moderator rights were getting removed, and next thing I'm out of there. So I'm like, okay, now I can't, there's nothing else I can do on the board. So, yeah, and I noticed that ever since that, it was just like went completely down. And I'm like, what do we, now what? Now what? Lord, what do we do? Because Q says stay together, right? How can we stay together if this is happening? So we actually created a new site, and it's coming free, y'all. It's actually, yes, it's called Freedom Force News, okay? Freedom Force News. And there's a forum on there, and we've just got tons of great people are already posting on there, so please come join us. I'm over here. I came all the way from Texas because I need friends. I need friends because, yeah, surprisingly, in the giant state of Texas that is very red, everyone's blue-pilled. It's awful. And so I wanted to come here because I wanted to meet you guys so we can stay together. So please go on that site, join, and post your research on there, and so you can share it with your friends. And it's a place where we can all really come together, and we're not going to let the hackers take over. We're just not. So we purchased it from a company called 1984. It's in Iceland, and Iceland is like so non-globalist. They hate the globalists so bad. So yeah, so we're really going to make sure that it's a place where we can communicate. You can say whatever you want to say. This guy can say what he wants to say, as long as we're not like, going off the chain here, right? We're going to be able to be free and have freedom together. So it's called Freedom Force News. So please join with me on that board, and then we're going to make, we're going to get back to 20,000. We'll have 50,000. We'll have everybody together, and we'll like I said, my name's Red Pill the World. We're going to red pill the whole world, right? And I want this guy to know wherever he went. I don't think any of us here, I think we all realize there's not Republican and Democrat. That was my red pill moment, was when I realized that George Bush Sr. supported Hillary Clinton. What is up with that? What is up with that? And I began to realize they have been in cahoots. They have been joined together at the hip since Mena, Arkansas, when bringing cocaine in here to poison our kids for years. And I'd hear all this. It goes on and on and on. So I'm not up for any of these people down here. Not one. Maybe one, maybe two. You know what? My hope is not in them. But I do believe there are people who are fighting for the country. I believe that QAnon is leading the charge and helping us to fight for our country. And he told us to stay together. We've got to do that, right? And so I'm so thankful for so many sites. I'm so thankful for all the people who have pink-pilled me and red-pilled me until I'm able to come out of this absolute darkness. So anybody out there who's not red-pilled already, please, for goodness sakes, please search QAnon. Please go on the live stream. And y'all know my faith. You know, y'all know my faith. I gotta, you know me, I can't help it. Y'all gotta hear what's going on. This is an amazing time to be alive. This is bigger. This is what Q said, it's bigger. It's big-est. This is so huge. What is it, Dead Cat? It's the biggest. It is the absolute biggest, y'all. This was foretold by my buddy Daniel 2,600 years ago. We're seeing this happen, y'all, before our very eyes. We're getting to live in this day when this is happening. This giant statue that Nebuchadnezzar saw is getting crushed into crumbles, into dust before our eyes. This is amazing, y'all. Oh my gosh, y'all got to hear this. Y'all got to hear this. You probably don't mean that. Thank you so much for grabbing that. Thank you so much. So y'all, oh my gosh, y'all got to hear this. Listen to this. It says, and this is about Habakkuk 2. Write my answer plainly on the tablet so that a runner can carry the correct message to the others. The vision is for a future time. That's now, y'all. It's now. It describes the end, and it will be fulfilled. It's not might be. When y'all start to get down, I'm like, no. You don't. This is not about our power. This is about the Lord. He says in Daniel 9, I'm not trying to preach a sermon, but he says that when evil is at its height, y'all, has evil been at its height? It's been horrible. The stuff I have learned is horrible. It couldn't get more horrible. It says they will be rescued, but not by human hand. Y'all know that Trump is not in that White House because of our smarts. He's in there by God's hand. God put him there to rescue us because he is a fighter. And he don't care what anybody says about him. And you know, when we got to have that same gut, right? That we don't care. Just you can come whatever you want to. I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight for my grandchildren. I got the cutest grandchildren. I really do. Okay, so this vision is for future time. It describes the end, and not the end of the world. Okay, it's not the end of the world, y'all. Come on, it's like that. It's the end of this evil age. We're starting in a new age, this beautiful age. And it describes, if it seems slow in coming. Anybody agree with me on that? It seems slow in coming? I'm kind of, come on, get the show on the road here. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. Look at the proud. They trust in themselves. Their lives are crooked, but the righteous will live by their faith. Wealth is treacherous, and the arrogant are never at rest. Their mouths are an open grave. Like death, they're never satisfied. In their greed, they've gathered up many nations and swallowed many peoples. Can anybody say Rothschilds? We just were yesterday, my buddy and I that I met on the plane, he walked up with the Jerome Corsi book. I'm like, I love you. He's like, who are you? Right? I don't know you. I'm like, I love you because you have the Jerome Corsi book in your hand. And so we drove over yesterday over to our what is it, McLean? Oh my gosh. I've never seen so many mansions in my whole life. That's all of our tax money. They just stolen from us. SES people. Y'all, pound sign SES. Whatever. Anyway, they probably know what I'm talking about. Anyway, but soon listen, this is so cool. But soon their captives will taunt them. They will mock them, saying, what sorrow awaits you thieves. Now you will get what you deserve. You've become rich by extortion, but how much longer can this go on? Suddenly, your debtors will take action. They will turn on you and take all you have. While you stand trembling and helpless. Because you have plundered many nations, now all the survivors will plunder you. You committed murder throughout the countryside and filled the towns with violence. Can anybody say Black Forest? God help them. This is bad. What sorrow awaits you who build big houses with money gained dishonestly. You believe your wealth will buy security, putting your family's nest beyond the reach of danger. But by your murders that you committed, you shamed your name and you forfeited your very lives. Y'all, Gitmo. That's where they're going. We were looking at house after house after house after house. Gitmo. They're all going down. You have shamed your name. You forfeited your lives. The very stones in those walls cry out against you, and the beams in the ceilings echo the complaint. What sorrow awaits you who build cities with money, get through murder and corruption. Has not the Lord of heaven's armies promised that the wealth of the nations will turn to ashes? They work so hard on all their evil, but it's all in vain. For as the, listen to this, y'all, as the waters fill the sea, the earth will be filled with an awareness of the glory of the Lord. It's happening, y'all. It's happening. Every day, it's happening. What sorrow awaits you who make your neighbors drunk. You force the cup on them so you can gloat over their shame. But soon it will be turned to your disgrace. Come, you will be exposed. Drink from the cup of the Lord's judgment. All your glory will be turned to shame. You cut down the forests of Lebanon, now you will be cut down. You destroyed the wild animals, so now their terror will be yours. You committed murder through the countryside and filled the towns with violence. What good is an idol carved by man? How foolish to trust in your own creation. What sorrow awaits you. Wake up, saying to the idols, wake up and save us. Can an idol tell you what to do? No, but the Lord is in his holy mountain. Let all the earth be silent before him. This is happening. Amen. This is happening. 3 years ago, I said, I started praying Isaiah 62. I was not red-pilled. I didn't know. He says, I've set you as watchmen on the wall. I've set you as watchmen on the wall. Do not rest all day, all night. Do not rest, and do not give the Lord rest until you see his righteousness shining like a bright torch that is burning. This is happening, y'all. I didn't know what I was praying. Sometimes we don't even know, because y'all, we've been in the dark. We didn't know. It was intentional. We were kept in the dark. But the Lord is coming, and he's shining on us, y'all. This is an amazing time to be alive. I'm so thankful that we get to live in this day, y'all. I'm telling you, Q says 2018 is going to be glorious. I know it will be. It's going to be amazing. We're going to see not only these people away from us, all of them out of here in Gitmo and worse, okay? Not only are we going to see that, we're going to see our families well. Buddy, my friend, wherever he went, we're going to see autism healed. We're going to see the hospitals emptied. There's not going to be any more cancer. We're going to be healed, y'all. I'm telling you, we're breaking in on a day that is going to be so amazing. There's not going to be any more depression. There's not going to be any more darkness. It said in, I've almost memorized Revelation because it's happening before my very eyes on a daily basis. Revelation 19 says that the beast, which is the New World Order, the false prophet, which is this false religion stuff that is awful, and the devil will be cast into the abyss for 1,000 years. And listen to this. It says there will be no more deception. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine, but it's going to happen, y'all. Just like Daniel saw this prophecy 2,600 years ago that this was going to happen, and it is happening. We saw the sign in the heavens on September 23rd. You got to join my page because it's just so cool. FreedomForceNews.com. This is happening, y'all. This is happening. This is outside of our ability to happen. Okay, this is so exciting. I just want to share that with y'all. Don't ever let anybody. If people call you crazy, I don't care. If Terry, wait for it. It will surely come. Okay, don't let anybody say anything. We're going to stand and we're going to watch, just like when Moses at the Red Sea. We're going to see that Red Sea party says, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. He's going to do it for us. All right? Fight. 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 Fight.
Hey, you guys, I just wanted to come on to tell you that I did not intend to say all of that. I did not make that speech. Before I went up there, I even was praying. I said, Lord, I really don't have that much to say. Do you really want me to go up there? Yeah. Then I got up there and I went, blah. So anyway, yeah. So I wanted to give you some back story about what the deal was. That was from Habakkuk, from the Old Testament. That's probably not a book that a lot of us read that often, but it really is a very powerful book. It's only 3 little chapters. And Habakkuk lived during the time when the people had done so many evil things in Israel, and they were actually being taken away into captivity. And so this is like 2,400 years before Christ. Okay, so that's 4,400 years ago now. So I wanted to kind of give you some idea what happened. So Habakkuk chapter 1, he says, how long must I call for help? You don't listen. Violence is everywhere. I cry, but you don't come to save. Must I forever see these evil deeds? Why must I watch all this misery? Wherever I look, I see destruction and violence. I'm surrounded by people who love to argue and fight. The law has become paralyzed, and there's no justice in the courts. The wicked far outnumber the righteous, so that justice has become perverted. That sounds a lot like what we have been saying for so long, right? And we're like, when is this going to change? And it's, anyway, so with Habakkuk, let me tell you what the Lord told him. In verse 5 of chapter 1, he says, look around the nations, look and be amazed. For I'm doing something in your own day, something you wouldn't believe even if I told you. I'm raising up the Babylonians, and they will march across the world and conquer other lands. And anyway, the point is they were coming to conquer them. And so I know Habakkuk was like, what? That's not what I was praying at all. That's not the answer I was looking for. So the thing is, there was such a high percentage, I guess, in God's scale of things. I don't know exactly how he measures it, but there was just too many who were participating in this evil, and so he didn't want to have to wipe everybody out. So it's kind of like, okay, well, instead of the death penalty, he was going to have to give them a timeout, kind of thing. Anyway, so they all go off into Babylon, and that was what it had to be at this point. So if you remember when Christ came, he said, okay, now look, you guys go into all the world and preach the gospel. Get some people going here where they're actually walking in the light and walking with me and doing the right thing, so we don't have this high percentage of people like back in the day of Noah that are doing so much evil that it just have to destroy the whole thing, right? Okay, so by the time it got to Habakkuk's time, the Lord didn't have to destroy the whole thing. He just said, okay, you're going to have a timeout. And so now it was a reprieve until we are moving along to get things a little more in order. And it's still bad, but anyway, so that was chapter 1. Okay, and then in chapter 2 is right when I was just reading, he's right this message plainly, and of course I was a lot more vehement when I was up there in DC, but anyway, he says it describes the end, the future. I'm sorry, this vision is for a future time. It describes the end, again, to the end of the age, and it will be fulfilled. So it's a future time. Well, I'm telling you, that's now. Poor Habakkuk had to wait. He had to wait. And so the Lord told him what was going to happen one day, and he believed it, but he was not going to get to enjoy it. He was going to get to read about it and know that it would happen in the future, and he was going to have to just sit tight and wait. And we know how that feels to keep waiting. I wanted you to know today, though, that today is the day. This is happening now. So in chapter 3, it says, I've heard all about you, Lord. I'm filled with amazement at your works. In this time of our deep need, help us again as you did in years gone by. I see you moving across the deserts from Eden, the Holy One coming from Mount Paran. His brilliant splendor fills the heavens, and the earth is filled with his praise. His coming is as brilliant as the sunrise. Rays of light flash from his hands where his awesome power is hidden. Pestilence marches before him, and plague follows close behind. When he stops, the earth shakes. When he looks, the nations tremble. He shatters the everlasting mountains and levels the eternal ones. He is the eternal one. Wow. So this is what is happening in our day. He saw this, but he knew he wasn't going to get to see the fulfillment with his own eyes. So I wanted to let you guys kind of know what he was expecting. Oh, look at this. He says, no, you were sending your chariots of salvation. You brandish your bows and your quiver of arrows. You split open the earth in flowing rivers. I just love this whole thing. The sun and the moon stood still in the sky as your brilliant arrows flew and your glittering spear flashed. Isn't that beautiful? And that's what we're getting to see. We're getting to see this flashing arrow, this flashing spear. Just every time you look around, you see something on the news or with Q posts where it's justice is coming, and these people are falling one by one by one by one, and it's so exciting. So I wanted you to know that we are getting to be in that day. So I'm asking you to do me this favor, not just share this, but also, do whatever you can to like it, whatever, and pass this along so everyone jumps in the fight. especially because here I am standing up here with, I've lifted up my head, and so that's the one that goes to the whack-a-mole, right? So we need to all stand up and be heard and be loud, like Q says, so that they won't whack-a-mole those of us who are out there now and exposed and ready. So anyway, either way, I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I spoke out. It was in my heart. I needed to say it. You could tell I needed to say it. And I'm glad I did. And I'm going to keep saying it until these people are gone from us. And that's going to be soon. So November 11th, right? So I'm looking forward to the great celebration. All right, do that. Rise up. Be loud. Share whatever, memes everywhere. We have tons of memes on Freedom Force News. So come over there and grab some. And also we just added a playlist, some great songs and good stuff on our Freedom Force News YouTube site. So we've got Twitter and all that. So jump in there with us and post on Freedom Force News, the forum. And there's also, it's a really great way on Freedom Force News to see just real quick the main red pills that I like so much, which is the CEOs and that have been resigning, and all of these sealed executive orders, and the 1,100 pages of seized assets. So we've got all that right there, handy dandy, so you can just zing it out right to people. All right, that's it. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you next time.